Hi, I'm Tiffany Patland, host of the Tiffani Talks Health and Wellness podcast, where I discuss tools, tips, and techniques to heal your mind, body, and soul. I am on a godly mission to heal the world.
Special guest today is Lehi Kafri. She helps yo-yo dieters lose fat permanently via flexible nutrition and rock-solid habits. Let's bring on Lehi. Or
so
Lehi.
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 It's okay. The spelling always throws everyone off, but Lehi.
Yes.
Awesome.
I'm so happy to have you here. How are you doing today?
Doing great. I'm so happy to be on. I was so excited about this all week. So definitely excited to unpack everything today.
Yes. Yes. Well, as you know, as we both know, health is my arena. I'm all about it. And I just love everything that you do. Just meeting with you briefly before and our Instagram talk, you have a lot of knowledge in the realm of health and fat loss. And I love it. And I just want our listeners to learn about you. So if you would, please let us know, tell us your story, how you got started on this incredible journey of yours.
Awesome. Thanks, Tiffany. First of all, likewise to you. I love everything you do. And my Instagram people, like all the information that you were talking about, like I had people message me and say, thank you so much. That was super helpful. And even took like a few tips we talked about. So it was awesome. But my story actually started when I got out of sports and into the Army and college, and my body started changing and in a way that felt out of control. So as I grew up, I was always in sports, mainly gymnastics. I'm 5 feet tall, so it's kind of the perfect sport for a shorty. But you know, throughout that, I was eating whatever I wanted. I was also training, 4 to 6 hours a week. So, fitness wise, like I always had a 6-pack. It was never like, I never even thought about food as like the enemy. And then what happened was I finished my sport in high school and I went to the Army and then I went to college. And during this time frame, this is where my body was like totally out of whack. I started gaining weight. I felt out of control. I got to the point in the Army where I was working out so much, but I was literally not gaining or not losing. And I was just stuck in this, like, I want to say like semi-chubby stage where I was just like very unhappy because I was putting all this work in and there was nothing happening.
A lot of people say that they are just stuck and they can't go either way.
Yeah. And so once I got out of the Army, I came back home. And once I was home, I was like back into a routine of things. I had a little bit more control over things. And I was also, starting to learn more about nutrition and decided like, you know what, I'm just going to hire a coach because I'm stuck. I don't know what I'm doing. Like apparently my body is revolted against me and I just want to get back to where I was. And so I got a coach, but at this time, bodybuilding started becoming a really popular thing, like back in 2013. So I hopped on that train because I was looking at all these girls at the gym and I'm like, okay, I don't know what they're doing, but I want to look like that. So tell me what I got to do.
Right.
So I ended up getting this coach who, gave me a meal plan, gave me, workouts, and it was all very strict. But at that point, I was so desperate to just get back to who I was that I was just like, I'll do it. And so through this very strict, clean diet and very vigorous workout schedule, I did, in fact, lose weight, get really, really ripped, even did a bikini competition, which was so fun. I was like, oh, my goodness. And then after, I was done with the strict diet and the strict workout plan, I kind of thought, oh, I can go back to kind of like, normal, easy, like start eating like a little bit more of what I want. And biggest mistake ever, because I ended up gaining 18 pounds in a month and a half.
Wow.
And that's where I was like, oh my God, like I went from chubby to ripped to, again, out of control. And my metabolism was just ruined, because what I didn't know at the time was, when you diet like that, whenever we do a strict diet like that, there needs to be a reverse diet where we build back up to get back to that homeostasis. Because otherwise, if we just go back to what we think is normal, your metabolism is not ready for it, because you've cut so much. So at that point, I was like, okay, I'm going to college. I'm just going to study everything nutrition, everything fitness. So I got my bachelor's in kinesiology, got my master's in exercise science with an emphasis on nutrition. And it was at that point that I actually started working in the field and training people and getting to know like what actually worked. And what I was figuring out very quickly was the diet and fitness industry sells us short-term solutions. Mm-hmm. And we buy into it again and again and again. And we get in this vicious cycle of yo-yo dieting, which then wreaks havoc on our metabolism, which then, no matter how much we like try, we will eventually get to a place where we're like, screw it, this is just how it is. But I was determined to not say that and to figure it out. And basically what I do now for my clients and in my business of LK Lifestyle Method is teach people that they truly can eat whatever they want. They just have to know their parameters, meaning what is their caloric parameter? What is their macronutrient, like carbs, fats, protein parameters? Like, what do those numbers look like for you as an individual? Not what's the next diet? What's the next like gimmicky waist trainer or fat loss burning pills? Like, because I've tried it all, by the way. Like, if there's anything out there that you've heard of, I've tried it. Like, I was on Hydroxycut. I was on, the sweet sweat where you rub this like balm on your body to make you sweat more. Like, I did it all. Like, I was the guinea pig for it all, because I was like, I'm trying everything. Yep. But when it comes down to it, I just want the audience to know that there is a much simpler way to do this, where you can eat what you want without sabotaging your results. You can move and work out how you want without having to commit to some kind of crazy CrossFit regimen. Like, you don't got to do that. Most of my clients will work out 3 times a week, 30 minutes, and the rest is just them being super hyper aware of what they're eating, how they're nourishing their body. And once they know their numbers, and have tracked things enough to get an idea of what that looks like for them, then we move into the intuitive aspect of just not even having to worry about tracking, because now you know what your body needs and you know how you feel and you know it feels good. Yeah. So I guess it sounds like a broken record, but balance and moderation is key. And that's the true solution to lifestyle health. And keeping it that way.
Lifestyle health. I love that, because what I've learned in my own physical healing journey. It's okay to chime in too. I get it.
Yeah. Ellie, Gus, go away. Come on. They just see dogs and walking by and they just get crazy. Sorry about that.
Oh, that's fine. I actually kind of forgot what I was going to say, but that's okay. So the next question I wanted to give that I think would be really interesting is, because I feel like a lot of us don't even really know. We know, but we don't know. So what are 3 tips that you could share to help others realize that they just might need to focus more on their health?
Yes, absolutely. So 3 of the biggest tips that I would give anybody who's just starting out or who wants to get back on track is, number 1, drink more water. A lot of us do not drink enough water. And if you are hydrated, water is your main nutrient transporter. So you're going to feel more energy, have better skin, not feel hungry all the time, because if you're drinking enough water, it's going to hydrate you. You're going to feel better. And a lot of the times when we are hungry, we want a snack, it's really that we're dehydrated. So I would say to anyone, drink half your body weight in ounces. starting today. So if you weigh 100 pounds, you should at least be drinking 50 ounces of water. Or if you weigh, just whatever your weight is now, half of that in ounces is your daily intake. I personally always push my clients to drink a gallon a day if they can. But again, just work up to it. So number one, drink more water. It's going to be a game changer. And it's so simple. Okay. Number two, sleep. Very nice. 10 points, Jimmy.
Yeah, those are amazing. If you need help drinking more water, get one of these. It's the Hydro Flask, but there's others that are cheaper out there, and it helps keeps your water cool. You can even put fruits and herbs in there and make a detox water if you don't like the taste of plain water. You can flavor it for yourself.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes. And I even have like a 30-ounce water bottle that I'll just refill at least 3 times where I'm like, okay, I know that I got at least my intake in that I need. So that's number one. Super simple, super easy. Number 2 would be sleep. I feel like so many people, like this is the hardest thing for my clients to understand is like when you're in the gym, you're breaking muscle down. You're not building it. So when you go to sleep, that's when you are repairing, rebuilding, like muscle growth is happening. Your stress levels are going to come down. So cortisol, which is your stress hormone, which is linked to holding fat. If we can bring that down, it's going to come from sleep. And so I always tell my clients, like, make sure you're being mindful of your sleep. Like, because I had a client who she was doing nutrition perfect. She was getting all her workouts in, but she was not losing a single pound. And then I started digging and asked her, like, well, how's your sleep? And turns out she was getting like 3 to 4 hours of sleep a night.
Oh my gosh.
Yes. And I told her, okay, our new goal is sleep. And so I made her commit to a bedtime schedule of going to bed every night at the same hour and trying to get minimum 6 hours. Like personally, I like 7 to 8, but 6 is the minimum that I asked of her. And after 3 weeks of her getting consistent sleep, boom, she dropped 6 pounds in 1 month.
Do you hear that?
It was from sleep.
Yeah.
So and sleep is it's such a big thing. Like our body needs rest, our body needs recovery. And it's going to be that time where we rebalance our hormones too. Like your cortisol level drops when you sleep, and your growth hormone is actually at its highest when you sleep. So all these amazing things are going to happen when you sleep, but you got to sleep.
A lot of people just don't know about that. So I'm so glad that you're hitting on all these points.
And notice that these are all free. These are, for the most part, easy, free. Like you're not having to buy a supplement or buy some kind of workout contraption.
You can just do it now. Start today.
You can literally do it now. So that will be number 2. And then number 3 is going to definitely be getting to know your numbers. So nutrition wise, I always say calories are king and then macros secondary, but macros is all about just knowing what satiates you and what keeps you full. But calories, no matter what you eat, if you're in a deficit, you will lose weight. There was a doctor that even did a study where he literally set his calories to a deficit, but he was eating Doritos, pizza, Oreos. And here's the thing though, because a lot of people think like, oh, I have to eat like chicken and broccoli for the rest of my life. No, he was eating super crappy food in a deficit and he still lost weight. So now here's the thing. His energy, he felt like utter crap because that food is not going to nourish and fuel you. But what I like to bring that up because I want people to break that mindset of there's good food, there's bad food. No, there's high quality food and then there's low quality food. And it's like having a balance of it is going to A, keep you feeling satisfied, but B, keep you feeling energetic and able to get through your day like well fueled. So the biggest thing is I would say figure out your calories first and then make 80% of your food choices that common sense healthy choice and 20% have the wine, have the cheese, go and have like a date night, but that's the part of the balance. So in order to figure that out, I do have a free resource. It's the Fat Loss Blueprint, and it'll take you step by step on how to figure out your calorie deficit for your height, your weight, and your fitness activity.
Yeah, I checked that out. I saw that and that was really cool. I think a lot of people would benefit from that. So I encourage you guys to check that out. I'll be putting that here in the links here shortly. So I love everything you said. And just to add something else that I learned that can help people doing everything that Lehi said is also getting an LCAT test, because some people, are allergic to foods or they're causing people high inflammation. So what they can do is get an LCAT test done, which further helps you identify what foods your body thrives on and which foods wreak havoc on your body. So that's just an add-on to everything that Lehi said. It would just, do all of that and I swear you're set.
No, that like Tiffani, you're right on the money, because that like literally there will be foods that some people like doesn't bother at all. And then some people, it's like when you take that food away through like the process of elimination, it makes a huge difference. So like, I know for myself, that was dairy. Dairy was like, it would cause me to break out. It would cause me to bloat. And the moment that I made the switch and I completely eliminated it, and then the one thing that I couldn't let go of was creamer. But what I did was I found a non-dairy creamer. So I got like a nut milk creamer, and it's a great substitute. And then if I do have dairy, which cheese is the one thing like I can't let go of, but I have that for my 20%. But the 80% of my week and my diet is non-dairy. And from that switch, like I have clear skin, and I also, my stomach is flatter and I don't get bloated anymore. So I encourage people to definitely do that test to figure out what foods trigger you and what foods don't, because that will absolutely help people like determine, how they react and how their body reacts.
And I
love that
with the dairy. I'm right there with you. I found my husband, we make a creamer with almond milk and maple syrup.
Nice.
And it's amazing. I go for the maple syrup because of the minerals in it. So it's one of the healthier choices, and it tastes great. And if anybody's out there looking for a cheese, here in Utah, it's like in a black package. It's called Violife, my new favorite cheese. It's like incredible, amazing.
You need to send me a picture of that.
I sure will. You know what? I'll even post it here in the comments later for everybody that's watching, because it's amazing. And then the So Delicious brand. Oh my gosh. I swear, the ice cream, the yogurts.
Oh my God.
I don't even feel like I'm not eating dairy. So if you're looking for a healthy replacement for dairy, I encourage you to try those brands, because they are incredible. I don't feel like I'm missing out. I don't feel like that at all. So,
and that's so key, because again, you think, I have to eliminate, I have to restrict. It's like, no. The free market is amazing, because they're going to give you options, because as consumers, when we want something that's better for us, there is an option out there. So check it out. And then you don't feel like you're missing out. So I love that.
Something that I've heard people say when it comes to physical health that kind of just makes me cringe, because I know how important it is. But they say that I can't exercise because of my health. What would you say to those people who feel like, I cannot move my body, I can't exercise? What would you say to them?
Well, I would definitely say what's the reason for that? Is it because your joints hurt? Is it because, it causes anxiety or too much stress on the body, which again, like some people, they don't want to, but moving your body is so crucial and important, because it changes your mood. There's endorphins, there's like brain chemistry that happens. However, I think people, again, they get boxed into it's either all or nothing. It's either I go CrossFit all the way or do 1,000 burpees, or I do nothing. And what I want to say to those people who are like, you know what, Lehi, I just do not want to exercise. That's totally fine. Like, I'm a total gym rat. My sister is not. But what I do recommend to those type of people is go for a walk. Walking. It's the most underrated form of exercise. It's low impact. It is something that changes your scenery. It is, and also I've had clients who will be in a caloric deficit and they'll just walk 10 to 15,000 steps a day, just walking. And they lose weight. They lose the weight. Now, obviously, if you want like a physique and shape, that's where I would say strength training or resistance training is so wonderful, because muscle is key. not only for just like how you look, but the more muscle you have, your immune system is stronger. You will be able to maintain your weight or your body composition much more easier. And there's a lot more room for, treats without, consequence, because the more muscle you have, the more calories you burn. But for anybody who would say, like, I just don't like exercising, I would definitely say, make sure you get like a one of those trackers for your steps and just try to walk as much as possible. Go for, 30-40 minute walks. Listen to Tiffany's podcast while you're doing it. Walk the dogs.
Yeah.
Park further away from the grocery store. Take the stairs instead of the escalator. So many ways to just move your body, because again, if you don't use it, you lose it. And it's the question of, do you want to be in your 60s and 70s hunched over and barely able to walk? My dad is 68 and he does dog grooming and dog training. And so his work is very physical,
Right.
But you would never think he's 68. And the thing is, he doesn't really work out all that much. Like, he'll lift weights in the evening, which is adorable because he's watching TV and these basketball games. And I'm like, Dad, you haven't even done a single rep. You're like just holding the weights. And he goes, I will. But his job, like, he's constantly moving. And so because of that, he's very like healthy. Like, you wouldn't think he's 68 because he's moving, he's active, but his work is physical, So I just encourage people, like, if all else you don't want to do anything, just walk.
Yes. Thank you. I'm so happy to hear you say all that, because I'm saying it, and I love that you're just, repeating that, because it really is important. I think I heard somebody mention it has something to do with their lungs. They had an issue with their lungs. And I think that they were thinking maybe along the same lines as what you said, that they were thinking in the box, oh, I can't because I'm going to be huffing and puffing and panting, like a dog. But no, just simply walking, as you said, because what I've learned is that a stagnant body will promote disease. So it's so important to move your body. And for those that maybe are carrying a lot of weight and maybe walking, let alone running, is too challenging, I always suggest go into the pool, join a gym that has a pool or a community pool, because the water renders you weightless. It's, it's just so much better for you, and you can just move around, swim, and that's exercise. Plus, you're getting vitamin D from the sun if you're outside. I mean, come on.
I love it.
Yeah, it's all good stuff. And it's just like, without saying it, you've basically have said how, you mentioned mindset. So there's your mental health. And you mentioned the physical part, which, you've talked about. I talk about, it comes in two parts, nutrition as well as fitness. And you've talked about that. And I think there is some spirituality in there when it comes to, like, self-love, love of thyself. When you start learning to love yourself, you don't want to, pick a bad, healthy food choice. You don't want to eat those chips because that you deserve that high quality food, like you were talking about.
Yes.
So if any of you are wanting to be healthy, but you're struggling, I would encourage you to do some self-love practices. And I have some of those in my Facebook group, Ready to Unlock Change, that you're welcome to join. But this was so great. I love everything that you said. I encourage everybody to check out her link tree. I have all her social media links down below. So as we come to the end of our show, could you please share a profound statement, a quote, or a mantra that you live by, that has helped you heal in all these ways, that would inspire our listeners today?
Yeah, absolutely. So this is one that I take regarding just like any struggle that I've ever had or any low moment that I've ever had. I've always told myself, like, okay, this is a situation. What are you going to do? Meaning, there's no point to play victimhood or to play the victim card, because that doesn't do anything for you. So if you have to ask yourself, okay, this is what's happening. What am I going to do? And when life hits you hard, my response is bring it on.
Oh, I love that so
much.
And
then I go with weights.
Bring it on.
Bring it on.
Love it. Be sure to check out Lehi's link tree. Like I said, it's down below. Get social. Follow her on all her social media platforms. Thank you so much, Lehi, for coming onto the show.
Thank you so much, Tiffani.
This was amazing.
Awesome.
We'll have to have you back on in the future.
Yes, and likewise.
Yes. All righty. I'll be seeing you in the threads. Take care.
Bye.
Thank you so much to everybody listening and watching today's episode. Please invite your friends and family to like and follow the Tiffani Talks podcast show. Also, comment below with what resonated with you in today's episode. This video will be uploaded to YouTube, so you can watch it if you don't have a Facebook account. It'll also be uploaded to all the major podcast platforms, so you can go for a walk and listen to Tiffani Talks. And as Robert Urich stated, a healthy outside starts from the inside. I'm Tiffani Patland, signing off until the next episode. Bye, everybody.